Hello, everyone. This is the latest world news in America. If you're interested, I'd appreciate your likes and subscriptions. How the US destroyed the last Cold War-era chemical weapons. After more than 3 decades, the United States has destroyed its last stockpile of chemical weapons, which once consisted of 30,000 tons of deadly chemicals in explosive munitions and storage containers. One of the unfortunate legacies of the Cold War is the tens of thousands of tons of nerve gas, explosives, and other chemicals that were stockpiled by the United States as a deterrent to either side. Because chemical weapons are not very practical and are dangerous to store, the U.S. Congress decided in 1986, even before the fall of the Berlin Wall, that the destruction of U.S. stockpiles should begin as soon as possible. The big problem was what exactly to do with it. It is much easier to create chemical weapons than to destroy them, so the only established method at the time was to bury the dangerous chemicals in deep water. Development of new disposal technologies began in 1990 at Johnston Atoll, an isolated chain of uninhabited islands in the Pacific Ocean south of Hawaii, followed by 6 more sites in Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Maryland, Oregon, and Utah. The project was not completed until July 7, 2023, at the Bluegrass Army Depot in Kentucky, when the last M55 missile filled with the nerve gas sarin was destroyed. It was the last stockpile of chemical weapons of the past, according to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons in The Hague, under the International Arms Control Treaty of the Chemical Weapons Convention. Initially, the destruction of the stockpile depended on high-temperature furnaces to break down the agent molecules into their basic elements. But after public concerns about the safety of such a technique, incineration was abandoned in favor of 2 new methods. One was neutralization, where robotic manipulators dismantled the munitions and poured the toxic agents outside. These agents were then vigorously mixed with hot water and sodium hydroxide, allowing them to be destroyed or neutralized. The second was static detonation, which was used when the poison agent partially solidified and adhered to the interior of the munition. Rather than dismantling the weapon, it was placed in an armored high-temperature agent that detonated the explosive in the munition, where the heat caused the chemicals to break down naturally. The same detonation process was used to decontaminate the munitions. With the last U.S. chemical weapon now history, Bechtel Parsons Bluegrass, a group of contractors, focused their efforts on dismantling a contaminated disposal plant in Kentucky.